tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give.
This is the Blue Origin's all-female historic flight crew. They made it to space today, and of course that includes our very own Gail King. You can see them there getting on here.
Oh, you're gonna say you can't?
I can't believe
I'm
all
alive.
of it.
Allison, look, feel me. All my body parts.
I caught up with newly minted astronaut Gail King. Liftoff. Fresh from her out-of-this-world mission to the edge of space.
Going forward with the marketing angle.
By the way, so I just want to let you look, it does look like a pee-pee. But
Katy Perry went to space, or so she claims, in Jeff Bezos' now infamous giant flying dock rocket. You heard that right? The rocket looks like a rejected sketch from Austin Powers, and somehow this was marketed as historic. But the only thing more fake than her astronaut suit was the mission itself. No piloting, no orbit, no science. Just a high altitude bounce, a few selfies, and a Disney cruise level press tour. And now even she regrets it. We're talking about a girl boss space stunt so cringy, even the FAA said nope, not astronaut. So buckle up, because this fake feminist space fantasy, it crashed harder than her last album, and we've got receipts.
Just want to let you look, it does look like a pee-pee.
Men flew your dick rocket.
So let's talk about the rocket, and yeah, let's not pretend we don't see it. This thing looks like Jeff Bezos asked a 12-year-old boy to design it as a prank. A giant, sleek, veiny, you get the picture. Even Austin Powers wouldn't touch this prop. It's too obvious. And who's riding this flying monument to midlife crisis? Katy Perry, of course. Because when you think space pioneers, you think auto-tune and whipped cream cannons. Now, just days after her mission, people noticed something strange. Katy's face twitching, blinking weirdly, just not working right. The internet asked, is this a side effect of space or just bad Botox? I don't know, but I do know this. Katy Perry is as much a musician as she is an astronaut, and now she's just as scrambled as her last 3 singles. But the best part, her press conference.
Love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey, and then you're feeling the love when you come down for sure, and you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong divine feminine right now.
By the way,
Understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future. And for me, like Gail said, this wasn't a ride, wasn't a destination. It was a journey, and it was a supernatural one. And my journey has always been about love and belonging. And I think that we have all felt that sometimes we weren't worthy or we didn't belong in certain ways, no matter all the accolades, no matter all the studying,
No matter all the accolades and studying.
Ma'am, this isn't Narnia. It's not a spiritual awakening. It's a zero-gravity Groupon. This was less one small step for womankind and more like word salad with extra feminist dressing. She basically said everything and nothing at the same time. Throw in unity, healing, and empowerment. And boom, instant TED Talk from orbit, except she wasn't in orbit. She was in a Bezos brand theme park ride. And the most tragic part, she meant every word of it.
Ship here went outside of the mesosphere. Once you're outside of the mesosphere, there are so few air molecules that you're considered to be in space. So the rocket cleared the troposphere, cleared the stratosphere, cleared the mesosphere. They went up. They were in free fall. That's the weightlessness. They were in free fall. And then the parachutes came out and slowed them down considerably, and then they landed back on the ground there in the troposphere, and the whole thing only took 11 minutes.
And this is where the sarcasm writes itself. You weren't flying, you were falling with style, Buzz Lightyear style. You didn't enter orbit, you didn't dock with a station, you didn't conduct experiments. You took a 3-minute selfie drop in a Bezos capsule. So while you're out here doing a victory lap in a space onesie, the rest of us are just wondering, where's the mission? Because if this is space exploration now, then every kid on a roller coaster is a fighter pilot. All right, Let's get into the science, shall we? Because for all the champagne popping and tearful press tours, this rocket, it didn't even make it into orbit. Let me say that again. No orbit. They didn't circle the Earth. They didn't dock with the ISS. They didn't even stay up long enough to unwrap a granola bar. All they did was barely skim past the Kármán line, which is the internationally agreed boundary of space, and then immediately start falling. And when I say falling, I mean free fall. That's what caused those few seconds of weightlessness, not anti-gravity, not high-level physics, just the absence of support while plummeting back toward Earth. That's not spaceflight. That's a glorified drop ride at Epcot. So let's call it what it was, a dick rocket insertion failure. They didn't achieve orbit, they just poked the edge of space and bailed. Like a nervous teenager on prom night. But sure, go ahead and tell us this was groundbreaking. Meanwhile, real astronauts are out here doing spacewalks and repairing satellites, and these folks are in a capsule for 6 minutes filming inspirational content.
You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love.
Now, Gail King, you are officially an astronaut. How do you feel?
I still can't accept that word, but I will say I can't even believe what I saw. When somebody calls this a ride, this was not a ride. What happened to us was not a ride.
Welcome to space, ladies, or shall I say, astronauts.
So here's where it gets even better. The FAA, that's the actual Federal Aviation Administration, straight up said, nope, you're not astronauts.
But the last FAA guidelines under the Commercial Space Astronaut Wings program were clear. Crew members who travel into space must have demonstrated activities during the flight that were essential to public safety or contributed to human spaceflight safety. The crew who flew to space this week on an automated flight by Blue Origin were glam, but you cannot identify as an astronaut. They do not meet the FAA astronaut criteria.
Why? Because there are rules, and according to those rules, if you want the title of astronaut, you have to do something more than float around and film TikToks. Let's go down the checklist. Did they pilot the rocket? Nope, it was fully automated. Did they contribute to human spaceflight safety? Also no. Did they even touch a control panel? Negative. They were glorified passengers. That's not a mission. That's a very expensive Uber ride to the upper atmosphere. But don't tell that to Gail King. She hit the press tour in full girl boss mode, emotionally defending the trip. They say it was just a ride. That's so irritating. Irritating? No, Gail. What's irritating is calling yourself an astronaut when you did less than a flight attendant.
Morning is finally here. Oh, there is so much energy here.
It's not about going to space, it's about what we bring back. And I get to go with 5 incredible women.
Hollywood ego, Bezos budget, carnival ride, that's the reality. Let's just call it what it is. This wasn't a mission. This wasn't progress. This was cosplay in a capsule paid for by Jeff Bezos's pocket change. And no, you don't get to rename yourself astronaut just because you screamed in a capsule for 4 minutes while falling out of the sky. That's not empowerment. That's not history. That's a glorified influencer field trip dressed up in a spacesuit and dunked in spiritual word salad. This was not about science. This was about spotlight. And that's what Hollywood does best. Take something meaningful and turn it into a brand collab with NASA stickers. We've had enough of it. Enough of the fake elites. Enough of the feminist marketing stunts. Enough of Hollywood narcissism pretending to be innovation. America already voted on this energy and it got rejected. You don't need a press tour to prove your worth. You need truth, courage, and maybe, just maybe, a mission that actually goes somewhere. If Katy Perry wants to explore the unknown, she should try making a hit song again. Until then, this was not space. It was a fall in a flying meme funded by a billionaire. Like, share, and subscribe if you're over it. This is the Fame Feed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.